Okay, so in this section, we're going to talk about compound events. So compound events, we're going to have more than one event happening to calculate a probability. So in these examples, we're going to have usually two events. So let's say we have a bag of marbles here again, right? We have 3 black ones, 4 red ones, and 2 green ones. The first thing you need to know is if something is dependent or independent. So if I took 2 turns and the first time I picked a marble, and then the second time, let's say I picked a black one, and the second time I'm going to pick again out of the bag. Right? In this case, in the first case, you would have a chance of three chances of getting a black out of a total of what's this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 out of 9, so it would be 1 out of 3. The second time you pick, if you didn't put the marble back, you would have a 2 out of 8 or a 1 out of 4 chance. So in this case, our events they would be called dependent. So your events are only independent if the first one does not affect the second one. So if I were to say you pick a marble, let's say I pick a green this time, and then for the second event, I'm going to put it back. So I'm going to replace it and then pick another marble, right? Both times I'm going to have a 2 out of 9 chance of getting a green marble. So this would be called an independent event. So if the first one doesn't affect the second one, this is an independent event. If the first probability affects the second probability, this is a dependent event. So we're going to talk about independent events first in this video. So let's say we have an independent event, and I want to figure out what's the probability of getting a black one marble. So usually when you're saying independent and a green one, right? So usually if they tell you something is an independent event, they're usually telling you that this is going to be an and statement. And if it's an and statement, this is going to tell you that you're going to multiply here, right? So here we're going to multiply. So the probability of the first event is getting a black one. So here I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 out of, what did I say this was? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So probability of getting a black one is 3 out of 9 or 1 out of 3. And the probability of getting a green one, this is a 2 greens out of 9 total marbles. So the probability of getting a black and a green in our two events is going to be, like I said, here we're going to multiply. We got 1/3 times 2/9. So we're multiplying here. 1/3 times 2/9. This is going to give me 2/24, which is 1/12. So I have a 1 in 12 chance of getting a black and a green. Okay, so here's the second case we're going to look at. I have the probability of event A is 0.5, probability of event B is 0.3, and the probability of A and B is 0.8. So now we're going to try to find out if these are independent. So remember I told you independent means A and B is A times B if it's independent. So let's check. Let's do the formula. Let me pause because I'm running out of time. So this is our formula. A and B is PA times B if it's independent. It talks about times. So A and B is 0.8, A is 0.5, B is 0.3. If we multiply these two together, we're going to get 0.15. This is not equal, so this is not independent. So we would say that these are dependent events. Okay.